Yeah, I heard about that. You're gonna have to bring me up to speed because I heard Henry Cisneros was not all about it. Waterburger caved. Really? Oh, dude, I need your pin. Yeah. Yeah, this is one that we don't even take seriously. Yes.
Alamodome has to be the eyesore of San Antonio, man. That thing is ugly. Dude.
It's better than what was there before, man.
The pink elephant?
Just brutal.
I'm like, you look at all the other cities and look at all the nice stuff that they have. Can't have nice things here. Well, they also have money.
Not much more than San Antonio, I would think.
They have bigger corporations, you know. Over here, Spurs students trying to run out Waterburger. You know, that stupid ass admin. They say good morning to everyone except the former.
Yeah, we got to
Twitter.
show that.
I mean, come on, it's the same guy. Please, man, get your ass out of here, dude.
We're just doing YouTube today?
No, we're doing it on my Facebook.
Oh, nice.
Welcome to another episode of the Alamo City Sportscast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your hosts as it helps the show grow.
What's going on, everybody? Man, the camera is completely off over here. What's going on here?
What happened here?
Woo-wee, baby. This is technical difficulties to start the show. Let me go ahead and...
No, it don't matter, dude. The camera's just totally off for some reason. Let me see. That's my camera.
Is that it? Camera 1, camera 2. It's like Wayne's World. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1,
know.
camera 2. Oh, you know what? There's only one that's on.
Which one? The widescreen?
The widescreen one.
All right. Let me see if I can get that one on. We'll have to get Mike on here.
What's up?
No?
No. How is this not on? This is funny.
I don't know. That is weird. It's the gremlins just because of you, Mike. We'll fix it. Just go ahead and start going, dude.
Okay, but I need to know if there's a camera that's ever going to turn on because it's like frozen where I'm at. Frozen where you are.
No. We'll try to fix it. Just keep doing your thing.
Okay, what's up, San Antonio? What is up, South Texas? Looks like your camera came back on. We are live right now on YouTube and on Facebook as well. This is the Alamo City Sportscast coming at you from the west side of San Antonio. We like to say West Bexar County is also represented because I live in West Bexar County. We go for about an hour and 15 minutes or so. We talk sports, we talk pop culture, we talk nostalgic things. Eventually, I'll be on camera more than just my elbow. Believe me, I am here. We've been talking about the number of subscribers that we have. We picked up some overnight. We're now at 859. Which is an all-time high for us right now. We gain some, we lose some, but the whole point is we're trying to get to 1,000. That's going to be a momentous thing for us when it comes to things. Lots to get into today. First and foremost,
I got you.
First and foremost, we brought Waterburger to its knees. Sort of.
Sort of.
Sort of. Let me see if I can fix this, move this over here.
I'll get it.
So apologies for the technical difficulties. Although I do like the widescreen. I do like this look. Look at that. What's going on, San Antonio? What's going on, South Texas? Again, this is the Alamo City Sportscast. And, this is a live show, so we have some technical difficulties from time to time. The cameras did not turn on. So we have 3 cameras in the room. I used camera 2. Camera 2 did not turn on. Camera 3 did. But camera 3 then froze. So what's going on, Joe? How you doing today, my man?
Doing good. I don't know why the camera froze, but I have an extra just in case this one's broken. I have the same. You see, the stupid thing is like I like to buy things in multiples just in case something breaks. So that's why we have 2 cameras here, just as a backup for the other one.
Right.
That main camera that we're using, If it goes out and that's garbage, I got another one ready to go.
Yeah, I was already doing the Wayne's World camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera
Yeah.
2. But at least we have something that works going on right now. We're going to go on for about an hour and 15 minutes or so, just talking a bunch of nonsense, man. Demon Mike might make an appearance again tonight.
God. You saw that thing I put out there?
Yes, I did. Yes. I don't know why you guys would think that I would not enjoy that, but
I didn't say you wouldn't.
We'll go into that in a little bit. City of San Antonio once again being used as a pawn for another city to get a new stadium. Last night I revisited a couple of boxing matches from back in the day. I was at my friend's house, and we started watching old De La Hoya fights. It was so exciting, man, to relive some of that stuff.
When he was on coke.
This was before his pantyhose days. We got to get to the NBA playoffs. Shaquille O'Neal was an idiot acting like Kanye West last night. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
We're glad that you won, but Beyonce had the best video of all time.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you finish, but here's the thing: Shaq being a complete jackass when it came to it. Why are they having him announce the awards? What exactly? Okay, first of all, we have to come to the reality that TNT is going to be no more when it comes to the NBA. It looks more and more like it's going to go to NBC. And because of that, what we have with Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, what we have with Charles Barkley,
Kenny and everybody there, Charles,
is more than likely going to go away.
Well, they're going to keep they'll keep that core intact and they'll move them over.
But what does Shaq bring to the table?
Nothing but that talk like that.
Shaq
I'm just like,
he has no personality.
That stupid laugh. He gets Charles going.
He brings nothing to the
That's
table.
about it, man.
He sucks at what he does, man.
He's just there for comedic purposes,
We'll get into the NBA playoffs. We got more basketball tonight. Last night, the Knicks, they all they do is win, but all they do is get hurt. Jalen Brunson, hurt. Again, OG Anunoby, hurt again.
That's part of the game, man.
Yeah, and the Celtics, man, are just going to, just ease their way into the finals at some point. But lots to get into. If you want to be part of the show, you can reach out to us. We're on our YouTube stream right now. Please like and subscribe. All the likes, baby. All the likes.
Yeah, make sure you like us because it does help us grow in the algorithm. So we appreciate it if you all give us some love, man.
So, Joe, what do you want to talk about first, man?
Let's talk about this nonsense that's been going on here. They have this thing that my son and me were talking about it yesterday because he's in Kansas City right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I saw this on something that's on the X called Say Cheese, right? So I'm going to go ahead and share it right now. And this is something that I saw it on the X, and it's just all rumors, and it's like the city of San Antonio, Texas, is interested in adopting the Chiefs if Kansas City can't find a solution to their new stadium.
Right.
We're going to talk about this because I'm like, I thought nothing of this other than just clickbait, right? But then my son was the one that called and told me, Dad, this is all they're talking about right here in the great city of Kansas City.
Well, show my screen if you can real fast. This is a news station in Kansas City, KMBC, the ABC affiliate over there. It led their news last night. The fact that the city of San Antonio and the city of Austin have together holding hands under the radar, kicking the tires. And you know what? Not the first city to do this in Texas because Dallas, the city of Dallas's mayor came out and said we can have two teams in the city.
Why not?
We're big enough for the Cowboys and the Chiefs in the city. The Chiefs originally came from the city of Dallas.
Yeah.
So I find this to be interesting. And as you can notice, the KMBC interviewed former HUD secretary, former San Antonio mayor Henry Cisneros as part of the story. And Henry said, man, that he hasn't heard much of anything about it.
Yeah.
And doubts that it would ever happen. But we've seen this before. The Chargers kicked the tires with us. Did they really kick the tires, or were they looking for a new place to play?
Yeah. Saints.
The Saints. Well, the Saints was a different thing because I think they were forced by the NFL. It was bad public relations for them to not go back to New Orleans after Katrina.
Yeah, they wanted to stay here.
They did. You had the Chargers. You had the Raiders.
Yeah, I was going to say.
A lot of teams have used this as leverage, and I think Jacksonville at some point.
And let's not forget the MLB teams, like the Athletics, for example. They came a-calling, using San Antonio as a pawn. But at the time, we had Nelson Wolff that was in charge of everything. And, it just seems like sometimes these city officials, they just don't care about professional sports here in
Right.
San Antonio. They don't care to do enough to try to, entice a team to come over. Hey, we'll build you a new stadium. Hey, we'll give you a tax break. We'll do this. They're like, no, we don't want to do none of that stuff.
Yeah, well, the voters ultimately decide, and we do the hotel motel tax. But look at this graphic that the KMBC put up there, talking about the size of the metropolitan area.
Oh yeah,
Kansas City 2.4 million, San Antonio / Austin 5.2 million. Make no mistake, and I know a lot of San Antonians get upset about this, but we are going to be a metroplex with the city of Austin in about the next 10 years. It's going to happen. They keep growing south, we keep growing north. We're already touching.
Oh.
San Marcos is already attached to Austin. New Braunfels is already attached to San Antonio. We're filling in that 15-mile gap there, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to happen. And I know people are like, no, we're San Antonio. That's Austin. Keep Austin, Austin. Keep your weird stuff over there. It's going to happen. Dallas and Fort Worth have nothing in common. But what's in the middle of the two? You have Arlington and all the way around from North Lake and South Lake. And you've got, Denton to the north of Fort Worth. And you've got Frisco and you've got Plano. All of these suburbs have just mushroomed and just blown up to the point where they all just kind of come together.
They melt together, yeah.
And really, San Antonio and Austin are destined to be together. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And if we're going to be going together for the purposes of sports to attract an NFL team, San Antonio is not rich enough to get an NFL team. Austin does not have the population to get and the infrastructure or the space to get an NFL team. You got to come at it together. And so you take a look at what's going on in Kansas City as they're reporting stories about this, because Kansas City wants a brand new stadium or at least massive renovations being done. Now, I know it's not going to happen. We're not going to get the Chiefs. What are the odds that we're going to get Patrick Mahomes' last 5 or 10 years? What are the odds that that's going to happen?
Look at Noah Pettis. No way in hell Jerry allows it.
Well, it's funny because I know a lot of people in the know. They say that what kills football in San Antonio is not Jerry. It's R.C. Buford. It's the Holt family.
You think the Spurs want another professional sports team in here?
Hell no.
Because
don't. When does the NFL play? The NFL plays September
Same
through January,
time
September through
that
February?
They're getting ready to kick off the NFL season.
Yes.
The NBA season, because the NBA season is happening in October, where they have the preseason and then it finally kicks off. What happens during that time?
The NFL is so big compared to the NBA.
Oh, no
so
doubt.
big.
How many people be going to a Spurs game to go see them lose?
The Spurs would turn into the Missions.
Like, exactly. How many people would go to the Spurs game to see them lose if they had another option to go see another professional sports team play football? And if they were actually good, they'd be like, peace.
Dude, if they were good, peace out, And it's just one of those things where you take a look at sports fandom.
Yeah.
The United States, we are about football. The number one sport right now is the NFL. Number 2 is NCAA football. Number 3, I hate to say it, the gambling that is March Madness. And then it's the NBA. Somewhere down the road, I understand that Major League Baseball already started. Have no idea.
NBA gets interesting during the playoffs. That's when everybody starts to watch.
Well, they say that people start watching around Christmas time, but now the NFL's coming out and going, no, that's our time. That's our time to shine. We're going to do Christmas and Christmas Eve games. Screw you, NBA. So it's funny because the real thing about it all is not the fact that Jerry Jones doesn't want a team. I'm not saying that Jerry Jones wants a team here, but I don't think Jerry Jones could stop it. It is the Holt family. It is the Spurs that would prevent an NFL team from coming over here. Now, they wouldn't play in the Alamodome.
Oh, no, bro.
It would probably have to be a stadium somewhere between San Antonio and Austin. The perfect area, by the way, is just south of Austin, which is the Circuit of Americas.
You know where the perfect place is? Just demolish that ugly ass Alamodome and build something nice. Build something modern.
But it wouldn't be a San Antonio Austin team.
I'm just saying if
San Antonio cannot handle. I mean, here's the thing. We can handle the attendance. Okay, we can get 60,000 Mexicanos there 8 times a year into the Alamodome, and we will pay a lot of money to be there. right? I saw that back in 2004, 2005 when the Saints were here.
Oh yeah,
because
they packed that place.
There were 3 home games here. I was at all 3. That's how I became a Saints fan. We packed the living crap out of the dome.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like the baseball where you have to have 81 home games. It's not like the NBA where there's 41 home games when it's like, well, I'm not going to go to all of them. Dude, if it's an NFL game, San Antonio would show up. The problem, so it's not the butts in the seats. It is the luxury boxes. It is the corporate sponsors. Now, I think the NFL is big enough that people would want to just attach themselves to the NFL, any NFL franchise possible.
Yeah.
So it's like having Wemby here, right? Hope to attract the free agents. Having an NFL team will attract advertisers,
attract business.
But there's not the local business because USAA is a client-owned entity. They're not going to do that. HEB, I love HEB, but it's a regional grocery chain. It is what it is, right?
Yeah, they have like your Methodist hospitals, who's like a national chain, and they could probably throw some
Toyota
money.
would probably have to be it.
Stuff like that.
AT&T maybe, because AT&T used to have their headquarters here, but they have a big presence here. There's really not a lot of corporate stuff in here, and that's where you bring in Austin into the mix because they have the Dells, they have the Teslas, they have all of those corporations, HP. All of that stuff. So it's like a deck of cards. We've got the people and we've got the sports fandom because the people in Austin are not sports fans.
No,
they're not. They're UT fans. They're not NBA fans.
They like their music festivals,
they're not NFL.
man.
They're like, it's a different vibe.
Yeah.
But they've got the money. We've got the people. They've got the money. We've got the fans. And we have to come together for that because there will be a time, probably in the next 10 years, when instead of getting our news on KSAT about what happened in far to west San Antonio, it's going to be like, well, here's what happened on Mopac in North Austin.
Yeah.
Because we're coming together.
Look at Noah. He puts Wemby at a Chiefs game and Mahomes at a Spurs game would be fired. No lies detected, man. But the Spurs would be like, get him out of here.
Dude. And it's the Alamodome is an ugly building, but I think it's charmingly ugly.
No, dude, it's just plain ugly.
It's kind of like one of those celebrities where they're ugly, but they can get every chick possible, or there's some actresses who are not 100% pretty, but you just look at them and you just go, oh. Like Maggie Gyllenhaal, for example, is one for me, right? She's not hot. But I look at her and I just go, There's something about her. And there's actors that are like that for women who you look at them and go, you think he's hot? You think he's hot? I have a lot of women who are like John Leguizamo fans, right? That is not an attractive man. But, he pulls. He pulls, right? And the point I'm trying to make is the Alamodome is that way because the Alamodome pulls, man. The Alamodome has been a success. And a lot of San Antonians are afraid to admit that the success level that it's been because it has brought Final Fours. It's going to have a Final Four next year. Multiple men's Final Fours. It has had boxing events. It has had the Alamo Bowl, which was remember the Builder Square Alamo Bowl? And then it all of a sudden became a big deal because now the Alamo Bowl is like second tier to the top bowls.
This comment here by Chris Gonzalez has me dead, dude. He's saying the Alamodome is the
Pete Davidson of stadiums. That's a great way of putting it, man. That's a great way of putting it.
Wow.
Because Pete Davidson, the ugly actor or comedian who somehow got Ariana Grande and all of these starlets along the way, the Alamodome, as we say that it's ugly. Why do we say it's ugly? But
it looks like a shoebox.
But why? I mean, okay, first of all, inside it's archaic, right? It was old when it was built, right?
It looked nasty.
It was not built with any charm. But the outside, I'm okay with. It's kind of a weird thing. But it pulls, man. It gets ass.
But it's ugly, dude. It's like stuck in time. It was like early 1980s design. It was like done on the cheap. Let's just erect something, and let's make it cheap. Because Henry Cisneros at the time was like, hey, we're going to bring an NFL team to San Antonio. What did they get? The freaking gunslingers. No mames, dude.
But look at this, dude. They had a George Strait concert in 2013 with 73,000 people. We've had Final Fours over here. We've had women's Final Fours, men's Final Fours. We've had we've had bowl games. We've had Army All-American Bowl. We've had Monster Truck. We've had Disney on Ice. We've had we've had big concerts there. Metallica. We've had Red Hot Chili Peppers last year.
Yeah.
You look at all the things that have happened in that Alamodome, it turns a profit. It
turns a profit. It's just ugly as hell.
It turns a profit, but that's the thing. If you were to implode it and build it back up, which is because each stadium has a life expectancy.
Oh yeah,
and it's about 30 years. Okay, about 30 years. After about 25 years, you got to start scrapping it. How old is the Alamodome? The Alamodome is 35 years old almost.
When was it built? 93?
93, right? So you go back in time, it's over 30 years old, and you can tell, and you can't put lipstick on a pig on that thing. You can't just make renovations.
It was already broken when they built it. Remember, we're gonna host the Spurs game.
Yeah.
What happened that first game? A freaking water guns or whatever, the water cannons went off.
So great, man.
Wet the whole floor and everything, got everybody all wet, and they still had to play the damn game. What a grand opening, right?
Yeah.
Hey, it's the grand opening of the Alamodome. You shit the bed on your grand opening. Like, damn, man.
So I'm watching last night at my friend's house, with my friend Alex, Sean, and Jen. We were watching, if you could show my screen real fast, the fights that happened back in 1997, I believe. This was at the Alamodome. This was Oscar De La Hoya against David Kamau, June 17th, 1997. I was 20 years old. This arena, this facility was just 3 or 4 years old, man.
Young Oscar kind of looks like Ryan Garcia, bro. Not gonna lie, dude.
And I was telling my friend Jen, I said, hey, all those hotties in the stands are now 60. But this was a great fight, man. And you know what's so funny? As I was watching this, they're walking up to the ring, and De La Hoya goes out there to Selena music. Now, Selena had just died a couple of years before.
Jeez.
And the whole crowd just goes crazy because Selena's music is going on. And those hotties right there are now 60. That was like your grandma's right there. De La Hoya going out there, knocked out Kamau in the second round.
Oh, I know my boy Fernandez remembers this fight, dude.
Oh, yeah. Let's watch De La Hoya just unleashed on him. Let's see. De La Hoya, man. This was great. I forgot about this fight because I didn't forget about it. I was 20 years old. I was in college at the time.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, imagine going out there being super excited and just 5 minutes into the fight, it's over.
Matt Lerma, the NFL and SA will take work from people too, not just the city officials. I get that, but the city officials, they're freaking ass here, dude. They don't do enough. They don't do enough, like I said, to want to entice another professional sports team to come here. They have the Spurs, and they're like, we're fine with that.
I don't think that they're necessarily fine with that. I mean, you got to understand there's certain parts of the city that, as De La Hoya knocks this guy out, there's certain parts of the city that are poor, and they're like, we need to have potholes fixed. We need sidewalks. We need certain things done. And I get it. They want money to come their way because this belief that trickle-down economics works is actually nonsense. It's not. By the way, that video was courtesy of HBO Sports.
Yeah, we can only show so much because then they get mad and they'll be like, oh, you know who got mad?
Who's that?
NBC, because we went ahead and showed the little excerpt of Saturday Night Live.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they blocked their whole video from the other day on Friday.
They blocked ours?
The whole thing. I'm like, are you serious? So now I got to go delete that excerpt of, the Saturday Night Live thing so we can actually have the video back up on YouTube. FNBC, dude.
Hey, we gave them a courtesy, though.
We did.
I do say where we get the video. It's on YouTube. I'm not doing anything else other than going on YouTube half the time. But man, the thing about it is this, man, is that the Alamodome, there needs to be something done there. The city, you're saying that the residents don't want to do it and the city officials don't want to do it. Dude, if Mayor Ron had any pull to get Kansas City over here, the Chiefs over here, he would do it.
Mayor Ron's a big time sports fan.
He is a big time sports fan. I see him in a lot of sports events.
He's a nice guy, and he's one of the fittest mayors I'd have to say in the country.
The
dude.
dude is ripped.
Dude's got some guns, man.
The dude is ripped. you know what's so funny is that like I know there's a lot of guys that don't like Mayor Ron for whatever reason politically.
No, he's a nice dude.
You hear women talk about Mayor Ron. Mayor Ron is the short king, dude. He's 5'7", 5'8". He's got some pythons on him, man.
Yeah,
he's a good-looking dude.
Yeah, no, I've gone to his office before. Me and my boy Taro, we go in there and we've talked with the mayor before. He makes time out of his day, just to specifically talk with my boy Taro when he comes into town from Japan.
Yeah,
and we have a little chit chat with Mayor Ron Nirenberg for a couple minutes in his office, 10, 15 minutes out of his busy schedule. We talk shop and he has a good time.
I asked to interview him a while back, about a year ago.
Yeah.
And I was introducing myself and he goes, I know you are. And I was like, not a good or a bad thing. Not a good or a bad thing, man.
Oh my
Sam
God.
Salinas coming out and saying Mayor Ron is juicing. All I know is he could take out Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia has no chance against Mayor Ron.
Juicing. Oh God.
You know what? Let's look. Let's. I'm gonna look up a photo. Let's see here.
You got it, dude.
Holy God.
He puts Hefe to shame, bro.
Like, okay, can Mayor Ron? I'm sure Hef is listening right now. Can Mayor Ron go to that Southside gym and hang?
Oh, no doubt. He can run circles around Hefe, dude.
Who do you think he benches?
Dude, he's got at least bench like 4. I mean, dude.
Like he can outbench the Brahmas.
Yeah, man. Like Jeff don't want none of that smoke, man. Jeff don't want none of that smoke, man.
Yeah, that's why you talk trash to him on social media, not in person, because he will beat your ass.
Mayor Ron, you want me to take care of this? Your security? No need.
I got this.
No need.
I got this.
I got this. I got this lightweight.
That is funny, but no, I'm sorry. NFL coming to Texas would have to be like a Jacksonville Jaguars that got fed up with the fact that nobody's there. It's got to be like a Tampa Bay Buccaneers that gets fed up because people don't show up over there. And you have to have a collaboration with Austin, and it has to be somewhere in the middle. Buda, Kyle, New Braunfels, somewhere in the middle.
They could build the stadium next to the Cabela's.
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't mind if they imploded all of the outlet malls. Just give them space.
The San Marcos outlet malls. I hate going to those damn places, dude.
The only time I go, if I ever, like you were telling me the other day, you're like nice kicks, like you and Steph.
Yeah, those are nice kicks, man.
Yeah. So the other day I wore these Nikes, and I get them from the outlet mall.
Oh yeah.
Like, every time I go to the outlet mall, I buy like 2 or 3 pairs of kicks. Stock up, and I'll unveil these like, in the spring and these in the fall. Because I don't like shopping for shoes. I like shoes. Like people have shoe game.
Yeah.
I want to have shoe game, but I don't have time for shoe game because sneakerheads like Brandon Big Poppy Medina, co-host of Generation Duo here on the Alamo City Podcast Network. He is really into it.
Yeah,
right?
he's got mean shoe game.
He's really into it. Like when it drops, it drops. I like a good 2 or 3 pairs of shoes every year that are like fancy.
I can't get normal shoes. That's the thing with me. Like I like Nikes and
like
stuff.
12 wide. What are you?
Yeah, dude. I cannot fit into those
what
freaking
size do you wear?
Nikes, dude. Like I wear like an 11.5 or 12.
Yeah,
but it's got to be like a wide width shoe. I've always had a wide foot.
Yeah.
The only shoes that actually fit me are the ones from the reservation because I'm part native.
Yeah.
So they make shoes over.
They're called moccasins.
Well, no. If you go to the native reservation, right? They have shoes that they make out there, specially made for Native Americans' feet. Yeah. And they're Nikes, right? And that's the only ones that have been able to fit me are the ones that they have over at the reservation.
Midtown says Jimenez wears Skechers shape-ups. No lies detected on that, man, because I don't mind a pair of Skechers, dude. Because, again, you don't need to be styling and profiling 24/7, right? Certain nights I want to wear nice shoes.
The slip-ons.
If I'm going to Home Depot, I'm going to put on some Skechers.
Yeah, just the slip-ons.
I'm going to put on some Asics. I'm going to put on something like that. But if I'm going out, like, on the town, going on a date or whatever the case may be, and I want to wear, sneakers, I'm not going to wear basketball shoes. I'm not going to wear the Kevin Durant 5s.
You're not going to break out your Marbach nice kicks. You're going to break out the new stuff.
Yeah. That's basically it. Still haven't worn my boots for a second time. I wore them at the rodeo.
Yeah.
I opened the box the other day. It smells like a brand new car, dude. It smells like it smells delicious.
Oh man,
that cow's still alive. Or whatever they make it from, man.
God.
Shaquille O'Neal is kind of a jackass. Shaquille O'Neal was the person that interviewed Nicola Yic yesterday. If Nicola Yic won the
MVP.
NBA Most Valuable Player, Nicola Yic is up there now, and I think that there's some heat towards Jokic being out there. I want to play this. This is courtesy of TNT, real fast.
I don't think you can play the audio because you don't have it set up. You have to click on the audio, on the little speaker icon.
Yeah.
And right click on it or click on it, and it should give you another option.
Okay.
Yeah. It's on the right corner there. You can see it on the bottom right. You click on it. And you see how it has that one little thing to the right there on the audio?
Yeah.
You go down. Right there to the right.
Uh-huh.
Keep on going to the right. No. Keep on going right there. And then click on the other option. It gives you right at the top. Click on that one.
There you go.
Now let's see if we can hear. No, it's not working.
All right. Well, so first of all, we'll at least show the video on Twitter.
Yeah.
This was on TNT. This was Nikola Jokic being granted an interview here because he was named the most valuable player. This is kind of like when Wemby won Rookie of the Year a couple of days ago. Shaq was the one who opened the envelope when he already knew who won, right? And he pulls a Kanye. He's like, congratulations on winning the award, but I got to be the first to let you know, I don't think you deserve it.
Yeah.
I believe it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they had they were the 1 seed. Dude, they were separated by like 1 game. Okay. So don't make it sound like Oklahoma City Thunder had a 5, 6, 7, 8 game advantage over Denver. Denver is also the defending champions. I personally believe that there's a backlash going up against Nikola Jokic, and we got to talk about this, by the way, because when I look up those who have won multiple MVPs, the list is small. When I say all-time great NBA players, Joe, let's take this down. When I see all-time NBA players, give me some names that you think of.
All-time greats. Chris Mullins.
I'm talking about like the Birds, the Magic.
The Birds, okay, because I'm thinking about shooters. All right, when you want to talk about greats, you're going to be talking about like the Karl Malones. You're going to be talking about, was it Patrick Ewing?
Well, that's a second tier of those are goods because
they're still good. They're in the Hall of Fame.
They're in the Hall of Fame, but there's the Hall of Fame, there's the elites, and then there's the Hall of very, very, very good.
Because you're talking about going back to the 80s. I mean, you're talking about Bird, Magic.
Right.
Worthy, not Worthy, but for what's his name? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Yeah.
The thing about it is that like, I think there's reluctance to say that Nikola Jokic is the top 15 player of all time.
Yeah. Best point guard in the NBA. You're going to go back then. What are you going to have? You have Stockton. You have Isaiah Thomas.
You do, but
and
you ask people who the GOAT is in the NBA.
Yeah, of course, it's going to be Jordan.
My number 1's Kareem.
Oh, I know that.
My number 1's Kareem. My number 2 is Michael Jordan. My number 3 is LeBron James.
Put Magic.
My number 4. I would probably say my number 4 is probably Russell. Number 5 is Tim Duncan. I have Tim Duncan in my top 5.
Yeah, you got Magic in your top 10?
Magic's in my top 10, along with Larry Bird.
Yeah, okay.
But the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because when you look at those who have won multiple MVPs, not a lot of them out there, man.
No.
There are not a lot of them out there.
It's hard to win that award, man.
I mean, how many did Tim Duncan win? He won 2. Right? So look at it this way. Bob Pettit, Karl Malone, Tim Duncan, Steve Nash, Steph Curry, and Giannis won it twice.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through those names again. Who won twice? Tim Duncan, Steph Curry, Giannis, Steve Nash, Karl Malone, Bob Pettit. Now, I don't consider Karl Malone to be a great because he never won anything. And I don't consider Steve Nash, even though he won back-to-back MVPs, he didn't win anything either. But look at this. The ones who have won the award 3 times include Moses Malone, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Nikola Jokic.
The Joker.
Oh, okay.
Man, but you look at what Nikola Jokic does, and you look at his game, it's kind of reminiscent to me of Tim Duncan. He's the fundamental, the big fundamental, right? Tim Duncan. His game is reminiscent of that. It's not sexy by any means.
Right.
It just gets the job done. But damn, he has a high basketball IQ, and he can pass. He's probably the biggest passing big man that we have in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And he's probably going to be known for that as his career comes to an end at some point. He goes into the Hall of Fame.
Now, Chris Gonzalez asked, actually, Raul asked the question on our YouTube stream, where do you have Kobe? I have Kobe somewhere between 8 and 12. I mean, you can make an argument for 8, you can make an argument for 10, you can make an argument for 12, but I ain't going above that. Kobe's one of the most overrated players of all time. He's one of the best players that ever played the game, but he ain't top 5, dude. Whenever I see someone put him on the top 5, I know that they're just lying. I know that either A, they're just fanboys, or they grew up in LA. That's all that it was, man. The guy was a 42.7% career shooter, dude. He had 5 losing seasons in a row to end his career. Come on, man. Come on.
Best shooters, I say shooters. One of the best shooters of all time, probably going to be Reggie Miller. I know Chris Mullins is up there too, man.
Chris Mullin, Reggie Miller. I saw a TikTok the other day. It was a WNBA player who met Chris Mullin, and she was like, I had no idea who he was. I knew the name.
Yeah.
I knew he was an NBA legend, but I didn't know his game.
Yeah.
And that he challenged her to a 3-point shootout.
Smoked her.
By the way, I don't. Have I told this? Their tall tale?
No, tall tale time.
I was part of a. I was ball boy for when 3 NBA greats bet each other on a 3-point shootout at practice.
Man.
Happened in Atlanta, Summer Olympics. I was working for KSAT 12, 1996. There was a 3-point shootout between Mitch Richmond. I want to say it was Gary Payton and Reggie Miller.
Okay.
And they were betting each other who could make the most threes out of 10 attempts. And one made 7, one made 8, one made 9. And I'm there fetching the ball and kicking it out to them. Happened in 1996, tall tale.
Wow.
I was actually at their practice because David Robinson was there.
I remember that time. Yeah.
So going back to Nikola Jokic, when you see the names out there that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar won the award 6 times, and Bill Russell, Michael Jordan won it 5 times, and Wilt Chamberlain and LeBron won it 4, and right below them you have Nikola Jokic with 3. There's a hesitancy to have this guy be considered one of the all-time greats. We had somebody earlier, Sam Salinas, saying Joker won 3 in a week NBA. You see, you're just throwing it out there, man. You're just throwing it out there that it's a week NBA, therefore he won 3, so it's no big deal. He's not an all-time great. Nikola Jokic, dude, is an all-time great. He is. He's a first-time. He's a first ballot Hall of Fame.
Where would you rank Rasho among all centers?
5,000.
Rasho and Nesterovic.
5,000. There's no comparing Jokic to Rasho Nesterovic is the same as comparing Wemby to Bol. There is no comparison.
Rasho, I forgot about Rasho's San Antonio Spurs great.
Yeah, back in the day. But here's the thing. There's fatigue when it comes to certain fans for it. Why? He's not American. Why? He's white.
Yeah, but a lot
of
the best players in the NBA now, are they coming from America?
Dude, who was a better player, Shaq or Jokic?
Oh, no doubt it's going to be Jokic.
Jokic is the better player.
Shaq was just, flashy with it, trying to go ahead and make a statement, bringing down basketball rims and whatnot.
Jokic is by far the better player than Shaq.
He doesn't have that personality.
And there are a lot of people who have Shaq as a top 10 all-time great. Well, if Jokic is better, that means they're above you.
Jokic can shoot.
Jokic can shoot. Jokic can pass.
Shaq would there's no shame in it. He was making his living in the paint.
Right.
That was his game.
I don't know, man. I just think that there's a fatigue because there's a hesitancy to add him to the all-time greats.
Look at JHS and B's.
Why is Shaq so jealous? It's because in the pantheon of big men, Shaq is one step lower than what he was before.
He's several steps lower, but the Joker is way up there, dude. I mean, Shaq, there's no comparison, man. Joker, you foul him, he's making his free throws.
So Chris Gonzalez asked the question: Is Jokic all-time top 3 center? Well, I mean, you have a lot of names out there.
Yeah,
I mean, Kareem is up there. You have Wilt Chamberlain. You have Bill Russell. He's probably second tier to that. He's probably top 5.
I mean, David Robinson is one of the better centers in the NBA as well.
Yeah, and Joker is better than David Robinson.
No, it's no lies detected. But I'm saying, like, as far as like centers go, I think David Robinson really kind of changed the game as far as what centers can do in the NBA.
Yeah,
because when he came in, again, he was kind of like a Wemby, an enigma. He came in and he was like so athletic.
There was nobody like him.
Nobody like him, dude. He was a league of his own.
And I think Robinson, when I say that he's below Jokic, that is no like slight to Robinson, because Robinson is an all-time great. Robinson's probably a top 25 player of all time.
He's top 50.
Yeah, by NBA standards, when they named him. But he's probably top 25. And the thing about it is that I think the league changed with David Robinson, because without David Robinson, there's no Giannis. Without David Robinson, there's no Wemby. You know, you take a look at the evolution of the big guys who run the court, run the ball. It used to be pound the ball inside like Patrick Ewing and to some extent Hakeem Olajuwon, Moses Malone, Robert Parrish. It was all about the bruising guy on the outside and let the guards run the break. And Robinson is the best center to ever run a fast break in NBA history.
At that speed and athleticism, man.
And when you think about it, that's some of the greatness about some of the Spurs greats of all time. And this is what I love about the Spurs. This is my fondness for the team, right?
Yeah.
Every Spur, if you were to close your eyes and think about their game, had a shot, right? You see, when you envision George Gervin, the finger roll.
The beautiful finger roll, man.
The finger roll.
Yeah.
Right? David Robinson, just a tomahawk dunk on a drive, dude. I know he had the 15-foot, a jumper. I understand that.
Yeah.
But I close my eyes and I see him finishing a break. Avery passing it off to the side. Vinny Del Negro passing it off to the side.
Lobbing it up.
And lobbing it and then Duncan. I mean, Robinson just pounding it in. Then when it comes to, you look at Tim Duncan, the bank is always open.
Oh, yeah.
The bank is open 7 days a week for that guy. The Euro step for Manu.
Yeah.
And then you had the
teardrop.
The teardrop for Tony Parker. Isn't it great that every Spurs legend had a signature move that we can all look back and go, wow, that had not been seen before. That finger roll had never been seen before in that way, with that class and that style, that swagger like Gervin. That break had never been run by a big man before, by a 7'1" center who's running down the court faster than the guards. That had never been seen before.
Never.
The consistency of the fundamentals. Dude, we made fun of Shaq earlier, but for him to be calling, think about that. Shaq called Duncan Mr. Fundamental, and it stuck. It stuck. Just like Wemby being called alien by LeBron James.
Yeah.
It's so cool to see that, because when I look at some of these all-time greats, I don't see a signature patented shot. They didn't change the game. They were just really good. Giannis isn't changing the game.
No, he's just good.
He's just an evolution of David Robinson.
Yeah. But he just can't. Giannis just isn't really much of a shooter. I mean, he can shoot
he's
here
a bull
and there.
in a China shot. He's
all right.
He's great, but all he does is try to wreak havoc inside and run it on through.
I mean, paint.
Joel Embiid, for example, is more talented than Giannis. Doesn't mean he's better, but he's more talented.
Yeah. He has a little bit more. He's more versatile in the way that he can go ahead and come out and shoot from different areas of the court. One of the things that I think about thinking about centers and Wemby now, what's Wemby's go-to shot going to be? I think what it should be is that fadeaway jumper, man. Because if he did that, who's going to stop him?
Yeah.
Who's going to block that shot? The thing with Wemby that he needs to get good at and he needs to learn, you're the tallest guy on the court. Wherever they pass you that ball, you can shoot over anybody. They can't block you.
Yeah, I mean, Hakeem Olajuwon had it in the early 90s, and Dirk Nowitzki had it in the 2000s. And it looks like I offended Matt Lermo. I knew I was, by the way. When I said it, I was like, Matt Lermo. It's scrolling down. It's one of the last ones. Matt Lerma basically says, let Jokic win a second title before we start saying things like Jokic is better than Robinson. Jokic has one title where he was the MVP and he was the leader of that team. Robinson was never the leader of a team that won a title here in San Antonio. He has multiple championships, yes, but that was Tim's team. That was Tim's team. He rode Tim's coattails to those titles. Jokic led. So was Samson asked the question, was Shaq, who was better, Robinson or Shaq? And where does Hakeem fit in? You know, it's interesting because we all go back to when Hakeem won those titles in the 2 years that Jordan sat out, right? And there was one playoff series in which Hakeem just annihilated Robinson. And it was for all to see. But actually, when you take a look at how they played against each other for their career, Robinson did very good against Hakeem for his career. It was just that one series that was magnified, and it's embedded in our head that Hakeem is better than Robinson because of that one playoff series back in the early to mid 90s.
The Spurs were the overall number 1 seed, and they got embarrassed by the Houston Rockets.
And remember how Wemby blocked Chet, and it was like that got in our brain. Oh wait, one's better than the other, right? That was kind of that moment for the Rockets when Hakeem did that to Robinson.
Yeah.
But you got to keep in mind, Hakeem came into the league like in '85. He was already in his prime. Robinson was just 3 or 4 years into the league. Now Robinson was older because he had 2 years of a naval commitment.
Yeah.
But there was a difference. It was like a Robinson in year 4 versus Hakeem in year 10, and Hakeem was still in his prime. It was different, man. So if you ask who was better between the two, it's one of those things where it's whatever argument you make is correct. If I'm talking to a Rocket fan and or someone who has no fight in the game, no dog in the game, dog in the fight, and they were to say Hakeem was better, I wouldn't be mad at them because they might be right. But if you have a Spurs fan or somebody who doesn't have a dog in the fight who says that Robinson was better, wouldn't be mad at him because they have an argument too.
Yeah. But you know what the funny thing is, that Rockets fans and Spurs fans, regardless of how much they hate each other, the fan bases do, they can mutually agree on like, hey, they got respect for David Robinson. Hey, we had respect for Hakeem and the way they played the game. You know, that's one thing that's ironic to me. Besides all the beef that they have with each other, they can say, oh yeah, this was a good player. You know, they had respect for Tim Duncan as well, you know, and they had battles in the playoffs. They all remember what happened with Manu blocking Harden, you know, the iconic block that he had on Harden.
Dude, I remember where I was when that happened, dude. I was in McAllen that day. I was on a business trip and I was at a bar at this one nice restaurant. And it was a nice restaurant where everyone was being quiet, being proper. And I am losing my mind in the bar, just screaming, "Did you see that? Did you see that?" It was so great.
It was so funny, though, because Manu already knew what he was going to do. He just let him set himself up. He went right behind him. And boom. Nope.
You know, we give crap to officials all the time, man, but they didn't call it. There was no foul. I'm not saying there was no foul, but they could have said, we thought we saw something, you know, because you sometimes see that. Sean Elliott's 3-pointer, the Memorial Day Miracle. Half his foot is outside the line, but he's on his tippy toes.
Yeah.
How the official saw that he was not out of bounds is just as big as the bucket going, you know, the ball going through the bucket, going through the hoop. Kind of funny. Yeah. But Jokic is an all-time great. He's an all-time great.
Yeah, there's no denying what he's been able to do. If let's say if the Nuggets manage to win again, and they can somehow figure out a way to get back into the series with the Timberwolves and beat the Timberwolves who look really good right now, and they go to the NBA Finals and they win again, I mean, the legend of Nicola Yic,
the legend continues.
It grows, you know.
The legend continues. I don't think it's going to happen because Minnesota just seems like such a bad matchup for them.
Yeah,
and it's when you see the argument for the Spurs going after an Alex Sarr, number 1 overall, if the Spurs win the lottery. Why would you need to have that? Well, we're seeing that right now with the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves' identity is defense. And Wemby obviously is a great defender. Sohan has his moments. He's he's better more often than he's not. He's good more often than he's not when it comes to defense.
Yeah.
Vassell's okay. But if the Spurs want to kind of compete with that level, then they need to match wits defensively along the way. And that's when you go after players like Stephon Castle. Dude, if the Spurs got 2 first-round picks, let's say they got 1 and 7,
Mm-hmm.
and they got Sarr and they got Castle, I'd be like, oh, I know what we're doing. We're trying to create Minnesota 2.0.
I wouldn't be mad at it.
I mean, it's just defensive presence because like a Stephon Castle, Vassell, Sarr, Sohan, Wemby lineup, you got 5 good defenders out there.
Now you're seeing some nasty.
Yeah.
You know?
Woo. Got crazy.
Yeah. You know what? We need to go ahead and give some love to some of our supporters here.
Yeah.
Mainly El Jefe
Jefe.
himself, Jeff Garcia, the Locked On Spurs podcast. Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked On Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on Threads at Jeff G Ken's 5 SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow not only on Threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/@Locked On Spurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked On Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
Jeff Garcia, again, on Kens5.com. I subscribe on Spotify and on YouTube as well. He has an article right now about how Waterburger gave a response, an official response about Spurs fans, por vida, going after Waterburger. That was one of them. Chris Leja was one of them. Because
Chris Leja is the one that started all this.
Big-time instigator when it came to it because Waterburger showed mad love for Chet Holmgren, showed mad love for the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Dallas Mavericks. Just 1 or 2 days after Wemby won defensive rookie of the year, and crickets didn't say anything. Waterburger going out there and blocking people. And then they came back this morning. Tell me about what they said this morning.
Oh, this is funny, dude. I'm going to go ahead and put this up because I have it already up here. They put good morning to everyone except the former Waterburger Twitter admin. Like,
Yes.
Dude, no mames. This is you still being the Waterburger admin. You just got caught in your feelings. But the funny thing is the comments.
Yeah.
The comments are wild, dude. And everybody's just roasting. They're just roasting Waterburger at this point. It's like, you have your headquarters here, right? Their offices.
Yeah.
No love for Wemby. Nothing. No mention of Wemby. And they're like, oh, well, we sponsor both Oklahoma and we also sponsor the Dallas Mavericks. Well, you know who else you sponsor? The freaking San Antonio Spurs. Because if you go to the Frost Center, what do you see in there? A damn Waterburger.
Yeah.
You know what? No, man, I'm done with Waterburger, dude.
And Waterburger came out with a tweet last night saying, we all know that Wemby is still king, but that is just the tail wagging the dog at that point, dude. We know what was up. Whoever the admin is over there, and you're saying it's the same guy, and I wouldn't doubt it.
It is, dude.
But you know that Waterburger had to have gotten wind of this because it was bad form.
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, no mention of Wemby at all.
I mean, it's okay.
Nothing?
Dude, if they had mentioned Wemby and then said Chet and then said the Mavericks,
Cool.
Cool. You're spreading the love. But we were the redheaded stepchild.
Yeah.
And we have the better player.
And you have your headquarters here, dude. Like,
I know.
My God, dude. Like, you know what? Go ahead and boycott Waterburger. I think that's what they're worried about.
Yeah.
You know what? Boycott them because the quality of their crap went down when they changed the bags from white to brown.
That's
You
true.
know,
but
I'm out, dude.
But here's the thing. Burger Boy, if they have cheddar cheese, I will stop going to Waterburger altogether. But they don't, man. They got American cheese. So there I am carrying around a bag of cheese or taking it home and putting it on my own slices because American cheese sucks. American cheese is awful.
Jeez, man. Sith and Matt are going back. Sith says, no, Matt, you're wrong. There's something wrong with your medulla.
Oh my God.
Let's be nice here, fellas. I'm like, damn. And Matt's like, damn, is Sith insulted me in the chat?
Why are crocodiles so ornery? Thinking about the water boy right now.
Yeah.
Hey, last night the Knicks went up 2 games to none against the Pacers, beating the Pacers 130 to 121. It was a comeback victory. Knicks outscored the Pacers 67 to 48 in the second half. Jalen Brunson was hurt early in the game, foot injury, hand injury, missed a good quarter and a half, came on back on one foot, basically led this team back. You had injuries galore in this game. Knicks up 2-0, but they are beaten up, man. They've got so many injuries on that team, some of them season-long injuries. OJ Anunoby had 28 points through 2.5 quarters. Then he pulls a hammy, and that hammy, he ain't coming back, dude. The way that he pulled that hammy, that's a week or two right there. That was not a tweak or a strain. That guy looked like he got shot. OJ Anunoby. But
oh man, that was a tough one.
The Knicks are going to win this series. They're going to go through the buzzsaw that is Boston. Boston's going to sweep their way through
to the finals.
To the finals, dude.
Yeah. I mean, the Knicks against the Boston Celtics, the disparity of how let's say the quality of the talent between the two and how deep Boston is compared to the Knicks, it's going to show itself. And the thing is, I think size is going to play an important factor because the Knicks, they're playing small ball.
Yeah.
You know, and unfortunately, you can only do that for so long, and then you're going to hit a wall. And that wall is unfortunately going to be wearing green jerseys in the Boston Celtics. You know what was funny about this game, too? Because afterwards, you had Coach Rick Carlisle for the Indiana Pacers go on a rant. Oh, cry me a river. Wah, wah, wah.
Okay, first of all,
I mean, come on,
two things.
man.
Two things. I like what you said about how the Knicks are not deep because they have so many injuries. Josh Hart played all 48 minutes last night.
I mean, that's
all 48 minutes. DiVincenzo played 44 minutes.
Brother had like 28 points or
Hartenstein
something.
had 39.
Jeez.
Brunson, who missed a quarter and a half with an injury, still had 32 minutes played.
He went out. Give me a shot. Give me a shot in the leg.
So really, they want to roll 6 deep, man, is what they want to do, is roll 6 deep for the most part. So the head coach of the Indiana Pacers complained about the officiating again.
Oh, man.
And here's the thing, man. They got royally screwed by the officials in game 1. The Pacers were up by like 5 points with a few minutes to go, and the officials opened the door for the Knicks to go through. Now, the Knicks went through the door, got the plays that they needed, but they may not have gotten those second chances. I mean, there was a phantom kicked ball where the Pacers stole the ball, and it was called a kick when it was actually a deflection by an arm. Okay, it was stuff like that. It was stuff like ticky-tack calls.
Yeah,
it was stuff like a screen that was being set by a Knicks player who then grabbed and hooked somebody's shoulder from the top and brought them downward.
I saw that.
Not being called at all. So the Pacers were very, very aware of the officiating.
Did you hear what Rick Carlisle said?
I'm gonna get to that. Then yesterday, the Knicks, whenever they showed aggressiveness, they got the calls. Whenever the Pacers were aggressive, it was an offensive foul every single time, or it was a defensive foul, or whatever the case may be. And Rick Carlisle, after the game, was there saying, why are they being rewarded for being aggressive, but we get penalized for being aggressive? And then he used the phrase small market. He went on to say, wait a minute. Does the NBA not want Indiana in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Should have done that.
He did the coaching equivalent of doing that, right? So it's funny because I understand that there's I understand that, okay, but part of me looks at it this way: who are the top teams right now in the West right now? The top 2 teams playing right now:
OKC, the Timberwolves.
OKC and Timberwolves, small market teams.
Yeah,
it's not the Lakers.
Denver, for all intents and purposes, too.
Denver is
mid-market.
Mid-market. It's not the Lakers. San Francisco's out because Golden State's not there.
Yeah.
So
who you got left?
Dallas. Wemby is in San Antonio.
Yeah.
He's not in Houston. Houston had just as good of an odds of winning the Wemby sweepstakes. Yeah. Speaking of Wemby, by the way, the amount of revisionist history going on Spurs Twitter right now, where it's like, it's okay if the Spurs got fleeced on Derek White, because without it, we wouldn't have gotten Wemby. And it's kind of like they're rewarding R.C. Buford, Brian Wright, and Greg Popovich for the crap job they did for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if it wasn't the case, and it's like, you know what? They could have suited up me, you, Hefe, Matt Lerma, and Chris Leja out there and still would have had a 14% chance of getting Wemby. You do not reward incompetence because they got lucky on a 14% hit, dude.
Yeah, freaking Brian
because
Wright.
No matter what they did, they could have imploded the team and played you and me 48 minutes. They're still going to get no more than a 14% chance. They lucked into Wemby, and it's very fortunate, and I'm grateful and thankful, and we are blessed that 14%
played
hit.
out. Yeah,
it played out, but they should not be
rewarded.
Considered geniuses. You know, because I play poker, right? Sometimes you do a bad move, and all you have are like 4 out cards, the inside straight draw. And like, oh crap, I need the 7. There's only 3 in the deck, and then the 7 comes up. That doesn't make you a good poker player. That makes you a lucky poker player. And you need luck and skill. The problem is we got the luck. I'm not so sure we got the skill anymore.
Yeah, they need some help, man. That's definitely evident. But the thing is, too, when you're looking to see what's going on here, Spurs fans, we're happy we got rid of Derek White. I bet you right now you all wish you had him back.
Yeah, Matt, weren't you a team tank? What the hell are you talking about, Jimenez? Yeah, I was team tank. I was team tank.
Well, that's what the Spurs did, getting rid of, trading away DeJounte, trading away Derek White, trading away Jakob Poeltl.
It is tanking when appropriate, right? But these moves were made 2 or 3 years in advance, dude. Getting rid of certain players 2-3 years in advance. Wemby was 17 years old.
Yeah. And what did the Spurs...
You can't tell me that the Spurs were like, you know what, man? We're going to implode this team for a 14% chance of getting this 17-year-old from France that no one's ever heard of before.
They didn't know they were going to get him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But you and I have had this conversation before about how we know good draft classes. Not we know it, but like those who follow the game, that's their job to do.
Looking at the prospects.
They know when it's a good draft and when it's a bad draft. And everyone knows that 2023 was an outstanding draft class. And that 2024, this one
be a little weaker,
is weak. And 2025 is supposed to be stellar.
You can still find some talent though late in that second.
Lerma, dude, I mean, quit jockeying R.C. Buford when he said that they started preparing for Wemby in 2019. That is shit that they will say because of how things unfolded, dude. You cannot take everything that they say at face value, man.
They didn't know they were going to get him.
They didn't know crap. The most they could have gotten is a 14% chance. Don't give me any of this bullshit that the Spurs knew that they were going to get him.
They didn't
know crap about crap.
How did they know?
Dude, they scout thousands of players a year, man. Dude, I was at a restaurant one time with R.C. Buford. I wasn't with him, but I sat at the table next to him, and I could overhear, it's like a tall tale, right?
Yeah.
It was the Hooters on Wurzbach in Fredericksburg. Okay. I was listening to them because they were having a Spurs meeting. I was like, oh my God, they're sitting right next to me. I was sitting here first. Now they're sitting next to me and I can hear what they're talking about. And they were talking about all the players that they were scouting. They weren't scouting one person.
Yeah, there's several people.
They were like, I need you and you and you and you to go to the UConn game. I need you and you and you to go to St. John's. I need you and you and you and you to go to this. They scout hundreds of players at a time, right?
Yeah.
Because they're scouting first rounders, potential second rounders. They're scouting potential undrafted free agents. They're scouting a lot. I'm not saying that RC did not see him in 2019.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
But if we're gonna do that math, he was 14 years old. You're telling me that they're like, man, we're gonna implode our team because we got this 8th grader out of Paris. Get the fuck out of here, man. No. Dude, this whole fucking revision. I'm sorry, dude. I got to go off on this.
Here we go. This
revisionist history because it fucking landed at 14%. You do not get to glorify them because they got lucky, dude. You know what? If I win a lot, if I go and get a scratch off and I hit for $1,000, that doesn't make me a good gambler. It doesn't. Because you know what they've done? They've drafted Primo, Lucas Samanic. They need to be held accountable for all that crap. And then you can't go, well, you know what? If we hadn't drafted that scrub, Lucas Samanic, we wouldn't be in the position. You know what? If Kawhi hadn't we wouldn't be in position. You know, if we hadn't gotten fleeced for Derek White, we wouldn't be in position. You know, if we hadn't done this, if it wasn't for Josh Primo dropping his pants in front of Dr. Hillary Coffin, we wouldn't have Victor Wembanyama. Like all of that was planned. They fucking lucked into a 14% chance, dude.
Dollar.
Good God, man. You cannot just dick ride every single one of these Spurs executives simply because of how it all unfolded. As a Spurs fan, I am happy and I am joyful that we have Wemby.
Look at Matt Lerma.
But they could have.
They took a risk and it paid off, and you're mad. Come on, dude. No, Matt. We're saying that they didn't know what their odds were going to be at the end. They just said, you know what? In order for us to even have a chance, we're going to throw our name in the hat. And to throw your name in the hat, what do you have to do? Tank. You know?
And you know what? But it was beyond that because there was a lot. What you're going to see with the 2023 draft, though, is that there are some good players that are in that draft, man. You know, you had Brandon Miller. You had
Jimenez is emotional.
I'm not emotional. It's just asinine, dude. It's these, you know, it's funny how it's like they think that the Spurs franchise is the freaking Bible, man. They take it literally. They're like, you know, Saint Pop, you know, in Pop we trust, and you know. Hey, RC Buford 316
but
and
real
all
talk,
this crap.
Man. Shout out to Matt Lerma for getting you fired up, bro.
Well, it's beyond him, dude. It's beyond him. I will give him credit for. Man. You know, he didn't set it all up, and I'm not going.
I like this. Y'all need to put the screen red when Jimenez gets
the meltdown.
Jeez,
the
bro.
meltdown. You're like a heating pad and vinyl.
The heating pad. You're gonna get fined. You got fined $1.
It's funny, man, because you know, you look at at who was drafted last year, right? Wemby, Brandon Miller, Scoot Henderson, Amen Thompson, Osar, Anthony Black, Bilal, Cason Wallace, all these guys, Derek Lively. They're all going to be good players.
I like this comment. Hi, man, watching us on YouTube. Only team that has a Jesus. Just saying. I've been saying it. I was even telling Fernandez the other night. I said, bro, we need like a Spurs Satan and just sit him right next to Spurs Jesus. Like somebody dressed up with the little horns and everything. That would be great.
Yeah, dude. But it's just like it's very much basically by getting Wemby, all is forgiven, right? All is forgiven.
Not unless they win and they go into the playoffs and within the next couple years, you know.
But that's the Spurs that Spurs fan mentality for half of half of Por Vida. Half of hashtag Por Vida is all is forgiven. Like we're gonna and they go, well, if they hadn't have gotten screwed over in this trade, and if this guy hadn't have dropped his towel, and if this guy hadn't have tanked,
it's saying like
this guy,
if the planets aligned, if this happened this way, I'm like, bro.
And Kawhi, and dude, I had somebody be thankful for Zaza Pachulia's foot.
God,
I had someone saw that on Twitter. They're like, well, if it wasn't for Zaza's foot, we got to thank Zaza Pachulia. We don't have to thank Zaza Pachulia for shit.
F that dude, man.
But think about how Spurs fans are thinking right now, where it's like. They're like, well, all of this happened, and the Spurs were obviously right because in Pop we trust. It's so stupid. It is so stupid.
And what happened? What did they do this last season too? To show you what they were gonna do, right? They were trying to tank again. What did they do with one of their veteran players that was probably their better shooter on the team?
Who, Devontae Graham?
No. Dougie McBuckets.
Oh, McBuckets
shipped his ass out. Hey, you're too good on this team. You gotta go.
Now I understand the for the generational talents, the LeBron Jameses of the world, the Anthony Edwards of the world, the Victor Wembanyama's. You want to be in position, right? You want to be in position.
Yeah.
And the Spurs tanked last year, and I was supportive of that to put yourselves in position. The problem that I have is they got Wemby, and then they didn't do anything with him this year.
Yeah.
And then they're probably not going to do anything for him this upcoming season.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out here to our boy JC from Special Leaf. So you want to go ahead and get healthier, get that Special Leaf in your life. He's one of the owners of Special Leaf, man. You can go and check that out. So shout out to you, JC. Mike needs to start drinking more than 3 beers at a time. Oh, Matt Lerma, I hope he gets you riled up again. You're just mad because the front office made a solid move.
Which move? The move was a tank. Now that they made the move, but what I'm saying is that to go, oh well, thank God, the Spurs. The point I'm trying to make is someone was trying to say online yesterday that the Spurs gave Derek White away to improve their odds of getting Wemby, and I'm like, what fucking correlation are you talking about, man? That's stupid.
Let's see what they do if they get a higher pick. If they get a higher pick in the draft this year, I'm just saying, please God, let them do the right thing. They're going to go and get some guy. Oh, he was projected to be a late first round pick, but they got him at number 6.
Oh,
Are you freaking kidding me? Because
Oklahoma City was because Sam Presti was scouting him. There were reports out there that Sam Presti wanted Primo at 16, so we had to get him at 12. When Alperen Sengun, who was the MVP of a European league that was high level, was sitting there at 15.
No, it's not the one.
But you know what? If it wasn't for that, and therefore they did the right thing. No, they did the wrong thing and then got lucky.
Right now, the Spurs.
You know what that's like saying? That's like saying. I was thinking about like equivalents. that the equivalent would be like thanking the guy that banged your wife, that led to your divorce. So that you met this other person and now you're happy.
Oh God, dude.
If it wasn't for that guy banging my wife, I'm not saying that happened to me, but I was looking for an equivalent. Yeah. That's what they're saying.
That's so dumb, dude. It's dumb. But you know what the thing is, that the Spurs have become nothing more than just a farm team. They go ahead and develop players,
but they're doing it on their own. They're doing it on their own.
Yeah, they do it on their own. They get the players in, they develop them, and boom, they're out.
D'Lo, excuse me, sir.
Mike's on one today, dude.
Yeah, dude. I saw somebody on Twitter yesterday, Spurs Twitter, saying that it's asinine when people say that the Spurs tanked for Tim Duncan. We did.
Chris. Oh my God, Chris Lay has me dying, dude. Wait, tanking is a bad thing, but they got lucky. But you was captain of the tank.
I pulled the train over, baby. I pulled the train over after the draft. I said, now let's go win. Let's go build around this fool. Instead, we did point Sohan for 2 months.
JC, send us a care package especially, bro. I'll go ahead and show it here in studio.
Nice.
Dude, Spurs farm is real. Hey, man, no lies detected there, bro. The league is like, you know what? Let's look at the Spurs and see what they develop. We're going to go pick up their spares because they ain't going to pay. Well, except for Booty Crumbs. They paid heavily for Booty Crumbs, Zach Collins. I'm like, come on, man.
Dude, some of the Spurs, I mean, and you take a look at like, you take a look at some of the draft. I mean, who we've been paying. Dude, we paid Damari Carroll for years. Josh Primo was on the roster getting paid last year. The Spurs have been picking up these contracts and burning these contracts and getting nothing out of them.
Yeah.
And it's not like, well, we're going to use it for cap space. Well, what do we use that cap space on? Nothing.
Maybe for next season.
Sean Marks on YouTube talking about the Spurs a couple of days ago was saying, he's like, hey, the Spurs may not want to do something this offseason because the free agent class is kind of weak this year. There are some good players you can go after, like a Pascal Siakam, but if he says no, or if a Trae Young or DeJounte Murray return to San Antonio doesn't manifest itself, the Spurs may want to stand pat, just simply win 30 games next year, try to get big in the lottery next year, make some moves next year with all the draft picks and all that stuff. And Sean Marks made a lot of sense because you and I, on this show, have been talking about that. Like, there's not a lot of big names, man. 2025 is 2025 is a big draft. 2025 is also a big free agency class.
Yeah, no need to panic.
As crappy as it is, it might be the best thing to do is to sit there and
lose again. To lose again. Why would you want to panic and go and overpay for somebody for a 1-year rental? You don't need to do that. You can get a veteran player to come in here, get him on the cheap. Maybe they just fill a roster spot. You're gonna suck again. Hey, but the prize is the following season.
I like how Matt Lerman is doing the apology tour right now, saying, I think it's funny. Y'all think the Spurs going through a rebuild should have kept Derek White on a bad team. No, I'm saying we got fleeced. And it looks like the Spurs don't know what they're doing when Derek White is going over there, averaging 25 points per game in a playoff series. That's the problem.
Yeah, but you know what, Matt Lerman? Y'all Spurs fans definitely want Derek White back. If he's available, and the Spurs can work out a deal. Oh, we got him back. We got him back. They let him go because they were signaling the direction they wanted to go. They were tanking.
Yeah.
And that's why they're doing these certain moves.
And the best they could get was what?
Some
the
picks.
The number 25 pick in the draft,
Yeah.
Blake Wesley. Really?
That's what they wanted, dude.
We got Romeo Langford, Josh Richardson.
They had to free up the cap space to re-sign Zach Collins.
We got fleeced. And Spurs fans are like, well, it's part of the rebuild. Getting fleeced is part of the rebuild. No, it's not. No, it's not. It showed incompetence.
Spurs are doing, sometimes they go ahead and part of these trades or these deals where we get players, and what happens? They let them go because all they're doing is assuming that cap, right?
Yeah.
That cap hit in lieu of what? Getting a pick. Getting picks.
Sith Elias reaches out and says, Matt is a pop loyalist. He reminds me of that guy on the Three Amigos. I'm so with you, El Guapo. When everything's going to shit, that one guy who's like, I'm still with you, El Guapo.
I'm still with you. I'm still with you. I remember that. That's freaking funny, dude.
What's it called? Noah reaches out and says, so we all agree that we're gonna take again next year. we're all in agreement that that's what's gonna happen.
Hey,
right?
Sometimes you have to go ahead and be bad before you can be great.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening with the Spurs right now. They have some pieces, but you got to be bad before you can be great. But there's no need to panic right away. You do have to make some moves to keep Wemby here and keep him happy. I think he's found a home here. He likes it here. But these pieces that you surround him with, it ain't gonna work, man.
Oh man, he's firing more bullets, man. Don't be disrespecting Blake Wesley either. I'm disrespecting the fact that we got Blake Wesley for Derek White. Okay, Blake Wesley in his wildest dreams will never be what Derek White is now. Facts.
Mm-hmm. But Spurs fans also have to think of this. While they would like to have Derek White back, he also has to want to come back. You think he wants to come back to this shit show?
I know.
He'd be like, no, I'm good. I'd bet you anything he finds a way to stay in Boston, dude.
I know. Vane is reaching out saying that Romeo Langford was a top 14 pick. Romeo Langford. Who did he play for last year?
Shanghai Sharks.
Let me do some Key Sweat. Who did he play for last year? Nobody.
What did he say? It says it's like Renado Palo. We had to have the bet until we became a porn star. Oh God, man. What did he say here? I heard Jimenez is the new Waterburger Twitter admin. Man, they've been on the comments have been fire today, dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have a lot of live. I mean, we have a lot of live viewers today. I think did word get out that I had a vein popping out of my forehead?
You ran. Look at this, JHSB. He says people really want to watch Malachi Branham and Blake Wesley again. Yeah, go buy your freaking jersey there, Matt Lerma. I want to see you wear that in the stands next year when you're at the front.
No, he's the only guy in town that has a pop jersey.
Don't be bad-mouthy, Blake Wesley. Go buy the jersey, man.
Yeah, let's see how that works.
And you know what time it is? It's 11:34, and Waterburger still sucks. F Waterburger. Yeah, we ain't gonna stop talking about them. We need to have like a little icon or something, a Burger Boy or somebody else, man. The hell with that.
Oh my God. Burger does sound good today, but I haven't had breakfast yet.
You know what? Babes is just down the street.
Dude, I was listening to you, and we're very supportive of each other. We're not rivals with Mike Taylor and Rudy J and DJ LG. But my God, I was listening to the first hour of their show yesterday. God, it was so funny. It was so funny. Mike Taylor was talking about how he had his car repoed accidentally.
Oh God!
Did you hear that story? Oh my God, dude,
he's brutal, man.
Yeah, he was saying, he goes, I didn't buy my car from a real car dealership. I bought it from one of those ones on the side of the street,
rinky-dinky places.
And he was talking about how he makes his payments, but they didn't put it on his file that he had paid it. And then he was looking all up and down his place for his apartment complex for his car. His car, he couldn't find it, and it turns out it got repoed. But he was current on his bill, and Rudy J was just laughing his ass off. And he goes, I don't even get a statement from that place.
Oh, bro. You know what's funny?
He said it was returned 30 minutes later.
Oh my
dude,
God.
And they had a conversation piece about how Mike Taylor wants to go buy shorts, but doesn't want to spend a lot of trunks, but doesn't want to spend a lot of money on it.
Oh no.
And he was thinking about going into like a secondhand store for it.
God, I knew he was gonna say that, dude.
And Rudy was like, dude,
somebody else's.
Don't put your balls where somebody else's balls were. And dude, I was laughing my ass off yesterday.
Go to the Goodwill. I'm gonna take my chances, man.
So feel free to follow our friends over there in the building.
God.
The Mike Taylor Show, Rudy J Show, in the building. What's it called? Love You Hard Media, Love You Hard.
Yeah, TV. It's their show is called In the Building. So make sure you subscribe to them as well, man.
Yeah.
You know what? We need to get DJ LG. I'd like to have LG here talking some pendejadas, man.
Yeah.
That'd be fun, dude. You know, look at this. Matt Lerman puts Diana's is better than Chris Madrid's. I never had Diana's.
You know what? Man, why'd you have to do that, dude? Why do we have to finally agree on something? Dude, Diana's Burgers.
They're hot.
I want to say it's off of Woodlawn, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, Zarzamora. I think it's Zarzamora. It's the same family as Chris Madrid's, and it is so good, dude. It is so good. But the burgers there, dude, bigger than the size of my face, and I got a fat face, dude. It is big ass burgers. I mean, don't go there unless you're split plates, man. It's really good.
Hey, you know what, man? I used to love me some Puffin Billies back in the day. If you know, you know.
No.
They used to have one over here off of 90 in Military. Man, that place used to be fire, dude. It used to be so good, man. But they shut it down. And it wasn't even like a big burger joint. It was real tiny.
Yeah.
I mean, you go and see the remnants of it here, that's left over there. But it was just so small, dude. But, man, they could make a damn good burger.
Back in the day growing up, right next to Lupita's, like down the street on Callahan and Culebra, there used to be a place called Royal Burger. And Royal Burger was legit, dude.
Really, man.
But right now, I mean, good place to get a burger right now. I mean, Burger Boy's good, dude. I like Burger Boy a lot. But going far for a burger is difficult, man. I'm not going to go all the way to 30 minutes to Zarzamora to go all the way over to...
you know where we could get a good burger? Yeah. A Mexican restaurant. Go get us a greasy ass burger.
What was that in the burger in the recap? Can
yeah, it's right here. That one was funny. Sam Salinas.
You just heard the In the Building recap live here on the Alamo City Sportscast.
I tell Mike Taylor and Rudy J, hey, we'll be all's pre-show. Right? Oh, they're going to be the opening act, and we're the ones that come out before the opening act. Oh, God. Hey, man, that's what I'm saying, James Molina. Puffin Billies with their big-ass lettuce, but it was fire, I'm saying, dude. You used to get that, and they used to have these little things called Google clusters that you could buy at the same. Man, forget it, dude.
Dude, me and James Pledger go to Longhorn Cafe. That's kind of our place for burgers. Dude, Chester's still brings it, man.
Hey, Chester's is good. Hey, shout out though, man. That being 21 says, did y'all ever go to Bun and Barrel? Bro, Bun and Barrel, man. Yeah. That used to be the spot.
That's not bad, man. Not bad at all.
I was into Chester's, he says, for a while back in the day.
They got the sesame seed bun, dude. Like the black seeds.
The black ones on there.
Yeah, good times, man.
Puro pinche Wemby's 4 for 4. And this son of a bitch is gonna put ketchup on everything, dude. We're always giving them crap for Sith. Every time, I'm gonna put ketchup on this. You know what, dude? Sith would be the same way as you, just to piss people off. Did you see that picture they put up? They had a guy at and they say you have to be diabolical to do this.
Oh yeah, he had the wiener with the
straw, the wiener straw drinking. Oh God, dude,
a little fellatio action.
That is freaking outside. Gross.
Dude, have you noticed that there's certain fast food restaurants that have gone down?
Man,
we talked about like Waterburger's gone down, Taco Cabana, Pizza Hut used to be great, but it's not. Wendy's went down.
Chili's has gone down too. Chili's is ass now, dude.
It has its moments.
Nah, right? Bro, it's
Outback Steakhouse has gone down. But there's some that have gone up.
Name one.
Well, a couple of them.
Okay.
Dude, Dunkin' Donuts, Duncan
after your dog.
Yeah, has actually increased in like what they offer and pretty good.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, it might actually be a good restaurant, even though we've made fun of it for 15, 20 years. Arby's.
Hey, man, I never find that no Arby's. We got one around the corner here. The beef and cheddar with the Arby's sauce on it. And I get me that little pie on the side, that little cherry turnover.
Arby's used to be ass, man.
No,
it used to be ass.
No, it was not. That beef and cheddar, man.
Now it's pretty good. Dude, just even like their deli sandwiches are pretty good.
No, the sandwiches are good, man. But you know, I like that.
I miss Quiznos though, man.
Oh, Quiznos was so good, man. I like this other place that's around the corner here, Tropicana.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
They have the sandwiches there.
Oh, the Tropicana right here.
Man, that place
They have the paninis.
Ooh, dude, that shit's good.
That is good, man. That's good. Subway is now being criticized for having $6 6-inch sandwiches now when they used to be $5 footlongs.
Yeah, they prices increase.
Now it's $1 an inch.
Oh man, look at it. Laugh my ass. My steak and ketchup take had everyone coming for me. Guess what? I'm still gonna do it. That's freaking nasty, dude.
Before we leave, I had a poll out yesterday asking the question: if it was down to Kawhi Leonard versus Victor Wembanyama for the gold medal, who would you want winning? Because Kawhi is Team USA. What if it's LeBron, Team USA?
They gonna lose, bro. They roll out. I mean, Kawhi, he ain't gonna play. Man, he might play one game.
Let's just say, okay, who cares? Team USA down 1 bucket, down 1 point, 10 seconds to go, backing Wemby up for a last second shot. Who cares? Let's say it's Steph Curry. Let's say it's LeBron James. Let's say it's whoever, Bam Adebayo. I don't care. Do you want Team USA to win that game, or do you want Wemby to get the block and the gold?
I'd rather get Wemby to get the block and the goal.
Dude,
I'll be wearing my French uniform.
166 votes. Spurs fans, 62% would go for Team France.
Puro pinche Wemby a la verga. Puros in Paris.
Nice. Well, this has been fun, dude. We went an hour and a half today, man. Little technical glitch to start the show, but thank you for everyone for being on. Man, we had a lot of people. Hit the like button. QR code top left. Help us get equipment. Help us get equipment.
Joe must be in cahoots with Arby's. Hey, man, I like me some Arby's. Hey, but before we leave, I want to show this, man. This was hilarious, dude. I put it out there and I said, Mike, if you die, you die. Man, that ref took it like a champ. He took it like a champ. But everybody was saying she's too thick for Mike, or she's too ethnic.
She's perfect.
Too ethnic.
She's perfect.
Oh God,
she's perfect.
And that's how, no pun intended, we're gonna end the show.
Nice. My response back was the motorboat from.
Oh my
from Vince Vaughn.
Jeez, bro.
Nice. Well, this was a fun show. This is what you get whenever I walk into the door and I go, I got nothing.
Yeah,
I got nothing. We just start talking.
Yeah, we'll make it happen, dude.
Sam Salinas saying, good show, boys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sam. Appreciate all of y'all watching us and commenting and everything, man. Appreciate the love, dude.
Very cool, man. Everyone have a safe Thursday out there. I'm at MJ Acquired Taste on Twitter. Joe is at Two Shots Podcast. Again, share, like, subscribe, send it to your friends. Let people know, man, because it's so difficult because I come across people go, man, I miss your old show. And I'm like, well, dude, I've been doing a podcast for the past few months. And they go, we don't know. Not everybody lives on Twitter. Share it on Facebook. Share it wherever you have your socials. Yeah. Text it to people. Let people know what we're doing, man. Because, again, not only are we filling that gap between middays when Sports Star and Ticket 760 are not doing anything local, you're the only minorities doing this thing in this town. One of the few. On a daily basis. On a daily basis, yeah. One of the few. The other ones, Mike Taylor and Rudy J, dude. That's right, baby. That's right. That's why we're friendly with them, man. You know, because we're going to lift each other up. Yep, exactly. I'm Mike. That's Joe. Hey, special thanks also to MCS General Contracting. Special thanks also to Jeff Garcia Jefe on Locked On Spurs podcast. Kens5.com. Go follow him. See you guys tomorrow.